Hello everyone, this is me Mr. Ahmed again. In today's video we're gonna discuss the figures of speech. Figures of speech are mainly used when analyzing poems in literature. The first figure of speech is simile, which means comparison using like or as. For example, he's as brave as a lion. She sings like an angel. Here he described him as brave as a lion. That means he compared him with a lion. Okay, she sings like an angel. That means he compared or he described her as an angel when she sings. Okay, the next one is personification, which is called تشخيص, when you give human qualities to non-living things. For example, the wind whispered. طبعا احنا ما نعرفش ان الwind بتهمس. This means it's a personification. So we give the wind a human quality. The sun smiled at us. Does the sun smile? No, of course. But he gave it a human quality, and this is called personification. The third one is alliteration, which is a repetition of the same starting sound. For example, she sells seashells. Here we repeated the letter S. She sells seashells. Okay? Busy buzzing bees. Busy buzzing bees. B, b, b. So this is the letter B, or the sound B is repeated in the first, at the beginning of the three words. The next one is oxymoron. Again, oxymoron. The two opposite words together. For example, deafening silence. Sweet sorrow. We know that sweet is something positive and sorrow is something negative, which means sadness. And they are opposites. The next one is pun. Pun, a play on two words. This word has double meaning. I used to be a banker, but I lost interest. Again, I used to be a banker, but I lost interest. The next figure of speech is metaphor. For example, time is money. He's a lion in a battle. That means he gave a direct comparison, but here he doesn't use like or as. Here he described time as money. We have to save money. We also have to save time. He is a lion in a battle. That means he described his bravery as a lion. And here is a metaphor. The next one is hyperbole. Repeat after me, hyperbole, which is exaggeration for emphasis. I exaggerate to emphasize something. For example, I've told you 1,000 times. طبعا هو مش هيقول حاجة 1000 مرة يعني, but this is called an exaggeration. مبالغة. Why do we exaggerate? To emphasize. عشان نأكد. I'm so hungry, I couldn't eat a horse. I could eat a horse. Again, I'm so hungry, I could eat a horse. Can anybody eat a horse? Of course, no. It's too big, for example. So here, he's exaggerating to show how hungry he is. The next one is onomatopoeia. Again, onomatopoeia. It means words that sound like the noise. For example, bang, buzz, splash, crack. Again, bang, buzz, splash, crack. The next one is irony, which is kind of sarcasm. يعني فيها نوع من السخرية أو التهكم. Meaning is opposite of what is said. For example, a fire station burns down. Of course, we know that the fire station is a place where we can use or call to put out fire. But when it comes to a fire station burns down, this kind of irony. Saying great when something bad happens. Can we say great when something bad happens? No, of course. We should show a kind of pity. The next one is apostrophe. Again, apostrophe. Speaking to an absent person or thing. For example, oh death, where is your sting? Can I see death in front of me right now? Of course no. But I'm speaking to it. And this is called apostrophe. Thanks a lot for listening and watching. If you need any questions, if you would like to ask me, you're welcome anytime. Goodbye.